One of the ideas that gives rise to linear equations is the idea of the ratio of two quantities. So let's talk about what this is, and then we'll see how this gives us linear equations. The ratio of a to b is just the fraction a over b. If a and b are measured in different units, these should be included in the ratio. So for example, if a class has 4 boys and 3 girls, the ratio of boys to girls is 4 over 3. A factory makes 25 TVs in 3 hours. The ratio of TVs to time is 25 TVs over 3 hours. During a certain sale, shirts are 3 for $20. The ratio of price to shirts is $20 over 3 shirts. Okay, what is the point of a ratio? The point of a ratio is that we can use it in setting up an equation relating a and b. The ratio of a to b is the number that we must multiply b by in order to get a. And that's easy to see in general. A equals a over b times b. Right, remember, b is just b over 1, so that'll be a times b over b times 1. The b's cancel. This really is just a. So that means that the 4 boys in the class is what we get when we take 4 boys for every 3 girls and multiply it by 3 girls. The 25 TVs is what we get when we take 25 TVs for every 2 hours and multiply it by 2 hours. The $20 is what we get when we take $20 over 3 shirts and multiply it by 3 shirts. Okay, this still doesn't seem very interesting, right? This really becomes useful when the ratio between two quantities is somehow constant, or when we are reporting a ratio in a simplified way. So suppose there are 4 boys for every 3 girls in the class. This is still telling us about the ratio, but now we know that the number of boys is the ratio times the number of girls. And working out that multiplication using a calculator if we'd like, we can say 4 over 3 times 24, and say that there are 32 boys. If we're talking about the factory, so suppose the factory produces 25 TVs every 2 hours and runs 80 hours a week. How many TVs does it produce in a week? Well, we still know that the number of TVs is the ratio times the number of hours. And again, either doing the arithmetic by hand or using a calculator, we find that 25 over 2 times 80 gives us 1,000 TVs produced in a week. Now, when ratios are constant like this, we have a special term for that. When the ratio of two quantities is constant, that is, the same for various values of those quantities, we say that those quantities are proportional. Clues that we might be dealing with proportional quantities: we might be told they're proportional. we might see words like every. Or we might be in a situation like the sale, where we just expect every time we buy 3 shirts they cost the same amount. So sometimes we know just from knowledge about the world. Sometimes there's a cue in the problem, and sometimes we'll be told directly that the quantities are proportional.